did you become Dubai's leading luxury lifestyle designer?
Thank you, Rakesh, for inviting me to this podcast. Um, you are a journalist yourself. You've been a journalist. You're an astrologer. You're a lawyer. So being multifaceted or having a better perspective outside has always helped everyone. Now one should look outside. So how did I become a luxury lifestyle designer? So my background is advertising. I'm a postgraduate gold medalist in advertising. And I have been building brands in advertising because of what I do. And it's my pre-qualification. I'm obsessive about brand building. And by virtue of, and there are not many brand builders who understand creative and vice versa. There are not many great people who understand brand building. So I'm a bit fortunate to understand brand building and creative. So that's how I got into design. I could sell clients better because I understand their marketing needs, and I could brief the creative people better because I would interpret the marketing brief into creative brief and creative brief into a marketing pitch. So it helped me both ways. So all along the journey that I've had, I've been into advertising, mall management. I was ambassador for Auckland City in New Zealand. I carried the Olympic torch for New Zealand in 2000 Olympics. The whole objective is to be out there to promote the brand that you're working for. So I was working for Auckland City Council. I worked for a mall in Oman. I worked for several brands across India, Oman, New Zealand, Dubai. I'm not an architect. I'm not an interior designer. I happened to work with the interior designer for a very short period of time, looking after his marketing, advertising, business. Besides the design aspect of the interior design, I was managing everything else. And we had a fallout, and for some reason, and I was not upset about it at all. And although I was holding the shorter end of the stick, but I wasn't upset at all because I think the universe told me it's a great opportunity for me to be. I understood design very well. I understand design very well. I understood client very well. So what did I need in between was designers. And I have a vision to where I want to be, what I want to do for my clients. And luxury and lifestyle and design and every aspect of design is what I have been pursuing, I want to pursue. For example, if I'm a designer, and if I can envisage a beautiful design for a client of mine for his interiors, I would envisage a design, a very holistic design. So I wouldn't buy for him a magnificent coffee table. I wouldn't buy for him the world's best dining table. I would try and create it. And as a designer, obsessive designer and a lifestyle collaborator, conduit or influencer of lifestyle, I want to bring in bespoke as much as I can into everyone's lives I work with. If it's an office, the reception table, the lights, the uniform of the working staff, if need be. It doesn't have to be a uniform per se. It can be a beautifully designed uniform. It doesn't have to be a normal steel uniform, but uniform is stereotype. Everything that I would like to do, or I have done, or I want to do, is handmade, custom designed, bespoke. I mean, if you look at what I wear, everything that I wear is custom designed and custom made. If I have to wear someone else's brand, I'm in the wrong business.
Prateek, Dubai is becoming the fastest luxury wellness hub of the world. What is your take on that?
What is the essence of Dubai? The core essence of Dubai for an expatriate is luxury, lifestyle, upgrading of life, leading a better life. UAE is the world's safest country, the cleanest country in the world. It was the passport of UAE which was the most recognized, but now even the golden visa is as good as the passport is in terms of recognition. So these are the core values of Dubai. Okay. So when you're talking about these core values, so these core values should reflect on everything that Dubai does. So you'll have world-class restaurants in Dubai, world-class hotels in Dubai, world-class residences in Dubai, world-class offices in Dubai, world-class talent in Dubai, world-class people in Dubai, designers in Dubai, world-class World class. Because Dubai is aspiring, UAE has aspiring, and UAE has a vision, has a vision to be among the best in the world. And it has been constant on the path of being among the best in the world. I mean, the leadership of UAE has been so consistent and persistent in their vision to make this among the best countries in the world. So do all it takes. So when you have that kind of vision, that kind of philosophy, everything that you do, it will percolate down. So talking about wellness. So taking the principle of being the best, Dubai will only accept the best. Even if you're second best or not as good, you will fade away sooner or later. So therefore, the wellness, people from all over the world come to Dubai. People from all over the world will come to Dubai. So all the services, all the products that Dubai is offering, will be of world-class quality. The leadership of the country ensures it's of the greatest quality. Therefore, now Cheval, which is in conjunction with Cheval, is part of Louis Vuitton LVMH group. They are coming to Dubai and setting up an island of Burj Khalifa in Jumeirah in partnership with one of the most significant partners of UAE to set up a wellness spa. There's one more component to wellness spa, is longevity. Now, longevity has become one of the biggest components of wellness spa. So the wellness spa is not just about getting massaged and a few things here and there. Well, there's a new component to wellness, that's longevity, that's coming to Dubai. That's coming internationally. Switzerland is the pioneer in that. India is pretty good in that because of Ayurvedic sciences. Switzerland is pretty good in that because they are using multiple sciences to genetic sciences, medicinal sciences. What is Dubai doing? Taking the world's best practices and making it even better. So when Dubai began a few years ago, how did Dubai start off being on the progressive chart? They took the world's best practices and they built it from there. The same with the wellness. They are taking from the world's best institutions, wellness institutions, and setting up their own wellness spas, longevity clinics. Currently, we are working with somebody on wellness. Currently, we are working with somebody on longevity. And we are very excited. And I think it's just the beginning in Dubai in terms of longevity and wellness. But there's a lot to be achieved there. So we're talking about UAE per se, the leadership, the vision, the greatness of UAE in every aspect of life. So as you would know, Dubai has got 7 Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Ajman, Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, Al Quwain, Sharjah. Ras Al Khaimah is developing itself as a major destination for leisure, entertainment, and now wellness. It's got an advantage of having the mountains and having the ocean. And there are very few countries in the world, or very few areas in the world, that are blessed with having both, the best of all the worlds. Ras Al Khaimah is blessed with mountains and with ocean. And what is wellness? Wellness is all about energies. And if a place has got oceans and mountains put together, the energy of that space is different from places which is tropical or which is desert or which is on the beach. But when you have best of all this, the energy of that place is different. I know a lot of mystics, I know a lot of people who are on a spiritual path have told me this, that Ras Al Khaimah has got a very spiritual air in it. The vibe is fantastic. And having said that, I'm sure Ras Al Khaimah will do something on wellness.
Prateek, we know you're always traveling around the world, and luckily you're in Dubai for a while. What are you doing in Dubai now?
So all this while, over the years, we've been working on interiors, and we're working on architecture, and we're working on furniture pieces and light pieces and rugs and pieces and clothes and branding. And we also do branding. In the last few months, and as we speak today, I'm loving to do these buildings. Designing the complete building and the interiors. So you have the complete building elevation, lighting, landscape, the lobby, the pools, the gym, the spa, the health club, the podcast studios within the building, the show apartments, the lounge pool, the podium villas. It's so exciting because you're not working on the lobby or the pool you're working on a complete holistic design deliverable. Then you're also working on creating a brand for that building and for the developer. And then you're ensuring this brand sustains. Both the brands are sustainable, not just one-off building and then you put all your effort into one and then it disappears. So currently I'm working for a company called Kakans. It's Kans and very ambitious. It's a new company but very ambitious. I've got great plans, and I would say I am almost an de facto in-house designer for them, in which it is not about design, it is about the vision. That's how I see it. For that matter, I see it in every single client of mine, but more so when you design buildings, it is about delivering a vision. It is not necessary just for that building. I think about the next 4 buildings that would happen from the same developer. So what kind of character am I trying to build? What kind of audiences I'm trying to appeal to? So I've begun this journey with Kakans and I'm enjoying it. And we are very ambitious, have a lot of plans across UAE.
What does luxury actually mean in the culture of Dubai and your clientele?
So luxury globally. Luxury is defined by what? Abundance, great quality, great design, exceptional service. So luxury lifestyle or luxury and luxury lifestyle means greatest, highest quality, custom made if possible or to that effect, highest quality, highest design. Now different countries have different languages in terms of design languages. Scandinavia has got minimal, Italian has got its own language, Chinese have got their own language, Indians have got their own design language. So different people interpret luxury lifestyle in a different way. But primarily across the world, it means the same. It means greatest quality, greatest comfort, highest service, highest design, and premium living. Okay? So it means the same to every client around the world. Okay? But different audiences, different nationalities interpret it differently. Because of my advertising background, it helps me understand my client better. In advertising, it's always about the brand first, about the client first. It's never about how great the agency is. The agency is only as good as the brief of the client and as good as your work is. It's not so much about the agency. Okay? If the brief is good, if the client is on the same wavelength as you are, now it's your responsibility to get the client on your wavelength. It's not his responsibility. Invariably, because of this, I get around. For example, I had a client of mine, a royal family guy, and this is a few years ago, and he asked me to design. He wanted to design something very minimal and very classy and very elegant. And in his mind, elegance, minimalism is sophisticated. In my mind, because of being into advertising, because I understand consumerism, advertising is all about consumerism. So is everything in life is consumerism. You understand the consumer, you can sell better, you can talk better, you can promote better. I knew that he didn't understand the meaning of minimalism. And he briefed me for 2 hours about how minimal he wants his house. Okay? But as a character, as a personality, as a brand personality, it's not my house, it's his house, right? So I have to define his brand, his personal brand, which his house will reflect upon him. So I know that he is not the minimal kind of a guy. The kind of clothes he would wear, the kind of cars he would drive, the kind of watches he wore, the kind of golf he played, the kind of whiskey he would drink. He's not a minimal kind of a guy. We normally don't do 2 options. We don't do 2 versions. Because we normally get the brief in the first go itself. Not normally, we do. But because he was insisting on having a minimal house, we did two options. We did one option of this minimal design and one option of maximalism. So when I'm saying maximalism, I put marble, I put glass, I put steel, I put leather, I put all that there could be in that house. Of course, everything was in harmony, everything was coordinated, nothing was off the grid. So it was in harmony, but I put in all that there could be. And one design was simple, minimal, very Italian, very classy, very sophisticated, and we first presented him the minimal design. Oh, I like it. Oh, very nice. And he kept it down. And he saw the first image of the maximalism. This is what I want. So, different people understand design differently. Now, this client, he would have read a lot about Italian minimalism. So for him, it became a jargon, which he was trying to impress upon me. That's okay. I mean, he's not an architect. He's not a designer. He is not supposed to know jargons. It's my responsibility to understand him better. He's looking for luxury lifestyle. It's my responsibility to give him luxury lifestyle. Correct? So when I showed him the second option, he's like, I love it. And then we also do the fit out. So while we were doing the fit out, and what we showed him was renders. So our renders are photorealistic. Photorealistic means it is as good as it can be. Our renders are I took super pride in our renders. So while we're doing the fit out, you will not believe this. He would sit while the work is going on, and he would keep checking the renders vis-a-vis the house, including when the light is coming in from the window. There's a certain kind of a light shade. He used to look for that light shade. It's impossible, almost impossible to match it. And he would say, see, the light is coming from there, but this light is shown somewhere else, and it's actually, in reality, is falling somewhere else. I said, this is a render. No, I want exactly like this. And he would sit with a piece of paper. And we delivered exactly as per the paper, and even better. Because I take pride in our lighting. Our lighting is amazing. So, we delivered all our projects. We deliver, I would say, people ask, it's a very common question people ask, so when you render, what is the percentage of reality between render and actual? Can you do 70% of this? Can you match 70% of your render to reality? I would say I do 120%. So if this render looks to you like this, I promise you, eventually it will be better than this. What is my value add in the final stages? So in this, I will show you a coffee table, for example. When you're actually making a coffee table, it will be handmade, preferably. It will be made from some kind of exotic stone, from some quarry in the world. The legs would be handcrafted by some artisan somewhere, which will not reflect on the render. But in reality, the dining table is handcrafted. The curtains are woven by some tribe somewhere. The sofas are handmade by somebody. The fabric on the sofa is again hand woven somewhere in some fabric, some tribe somewhere. So what we actually deliver to you will be much more than what you see in the render.
That's great. How did the collaboration with Gauri Khan and the First Ferry happen?
So this is many, many years ago. Many years ago. I happened to meet Gauri Khan, and she was doing interior design with Suzanne Khan, the ex-wife of Prateek Chaudhry. And I happened to meet her. I happened to give her a brochure. She liked my brochure. She said, how can we work together? And I told her, Gauri, you're more than a designer. You're more than an interior designer. You're more than an architect. You're a comprehensive brand. Okay, you are Mrs. Shah Rukh Khan. By saying you're Mrs. Shah Rukh Khan, I'm not taking away the Gauri Khan aspect from you. I am saying that by virtue of being Mrs. Shah Rukh Khan, you're the first lady of Bollywood. You have seen the world's best hotels, best residences, best spas, cafes, hotels, best spaces in the world. You've been to palaces. You've met the best fashion designers, and you had the best jewelry, and you've seen it, experienced it. Designing is all about experiential. There's no point of me being a great architect, or it doesn't mean If I have studied my architecture in the world's best architecture school and have not experienced anything, I will be good at I need to be good at it. Like, for example, I'm not a designer. I'm not a qualified architect. I'm not a qualified interior designer. But because of my world experiences, this is my 8th country I'm living in, and because I've experienced so much in life, and I'm a kind of a guy who likes to experience food and people and things, I've got around experiencing design. Similarly, you, Gauri Khan, have experienced the world. Okay? And I think there can be no better person than you to put your brand not only on interiors, on furniture, on fashion, on jewelry, on every aspect of fine living. You epitomize luxury lifestyle. As a person, let me tell you one thing. She is possibly the most humble person I've met in my life. Incredibility will fall shy. So, while we did the press conference in Dubai, many journalists would ask her, so what made you a fashion designer, and what qualifies you to be a fashion designer? And she was kind enough to direct these questions to me to answer the people. And this is exactly what I told her. I think if there's anybody in the world who qualifies to be a designer, is her. The experiences that she goes through every single day of luxury lifestyle, nobody can touch it. Nobody can take it away from her. And now she's doing very well for herself in Bombay. She's among India's top 5, top 3 designers. And she's bound to be there. And I only wish that she pushes herself even beyond the realms of interior design architecture. I think she's opened a restaurant now. She's just opened I think a very fancy restaurant or fancy bar. But I think she should also put her name on fashion, on clothes and shoes and jewelry and eyeglasses, a comprehensive international brand. Because if anybody is qualified, she is. So your question of how did we collaborate? So this is what happened, and she said, how can we work together? And I have a brand called the First Ferry. We have a brand called the First Ferry. And we're pretty active. We've done some great work, good work. We've done work in Burj Khalifa and Palm Jumeirah, Emirates. We designed the UAE embassy in Singapore. We've done quite a bit of work. And then when she asked me, how can we work together? So without diluting my brand, and I didn't want her to be a brand ambassador. I wanted her to be a part of the brand. I wanted her to be a part of the design ecosystem. So we created a signature brand called Gauri Khan for the First Ferry. So there was First Ferry doing premium work, and there was an ultra luxury lifestyle brand called Gauri Khan for the First Ferry, which we would only use for yachts and bespoke cars and exclusive residences and or exclusive pieces within the residences of clientele who wanted some piece of Gauri Khan.
Do you think Gauri Khan would be part of the Shah Rukh Khan's tower in Dubai?
See, I don't know honestly what the plans are. I'm not involved in that project at all. It is Shah Rukh's building, yes. Rizwan Sarjan of Danube is possibly the most enterprising developer of Dubai. Possibly the most enterprising developer of Dubai. He's out there and he's out and about. So there's nobody smarter than him or, out there. So I don't know what the plans are. But I think it's a great opportunity for Gauri to be a part of it. And Gauri should be a part of it. It is Shah Rukh's towers. It's a natural progression for Gauri to be part of the interior design. If not the interior design, the lobby design or the reception table or the tables or the rugs or the furniture or the lights. There can be light pieces designed by Gauri. The chandelier pieces can be designed by Gauri. The rugs can be designed by Gauri. It's a natural progression for Gauri Khan designs to be part of the Shah Rukh's towers that are coming on Dubai. And Rizwan being Rizwan, I don't think he's going to miss an opportunity on that. To take a step forward, like I mentioned to you, she reflects, she epitomizes luxury lifestyle. So it's not confined to interior pieces or fashion or earrings. For example, crockery set, cutlery set. In residences, because Shah Rukh's, the building is an office tower, it's a commercial tower. So I don't know how much of crockery and cutlery, but every office also uses cutlery, crockery, for tea, coffee and stuff. Handmade cutlery, crockery can be designed by Gauri for the Shah Rukh's building that can be given to every owner along with the keys and along with them. So they can create a small box which entails your title deed, and the pens and the chocolates and a set of either crockery, cutlery, or something which is handmade, custom made, one of everything. And she put her name. Japan has fantastic potters, India has fantastic potters, Philippines, all the ancient China has, all the ancient cultures have fantastic potters, stonemanship, ironsmith. Something of that sort can also happen. The key ring of the office can be handmade, or we can use an expert ironmonger, Gauri Khan designed, along with the key that goes in the box. And that itself becomes a memorabilia.
Mr. Prateek, your first project in Dubai was in the Burj Khalifa. Walk us through that story.
This is called providence. When the universe wants to work with you, when the universe wants to guide you and take you through a path, the universe will come by and hold your hand, walk you through. And our project with Burj Khalifa was a classic case of how we did a beautiful job. And in fact, the concierge of Burj Khalifa commended us as being the best design apartment, or one of the best design apartments. Well, they told me it's the best design apartment. I would say it's one of the best design apartments in Burj Khalifa. So I happened to meet a client for advertising, very dear friend of mine. Now he's a very dear friend of mine called Harish Krishnamurthy. And the reason I'm taking his name is I want to thank him for that. And I had gone to meet him for something in advertising. And I don't know him. He wasn't my friend. He was purely a client who I was meeting for the first time. And when he saw me, hyperventilating about the concept that I was trying to sell him for this advertising, he told me, slow down. Just sit down quietly. Okay, I don't want this from you. Will you do my apartment in Burj Khalifa? I have a client who's got an apartment in Burj Khalifa. Can you design for him? And at that point, it was a bolt. It was a complete jolt from nowhere. I mean, here's a guy who I've gone to meet to sell him some advertising stuff. It was a great concept that I had in mind. But again, it was this whole apartment of Burj Khalifa came through. I said, of course. He's saying, you have experiences? I said, don't worry about it. And, I would do it. And he had complete faith in me. And I loved his instincts. And he gave me what I asked for in terms of money-wise. And he had complete faith in me. I mean, the reason I'm saying thank you again, Harish, he had complete faith in me. And the apartment was commended as being among the best in Burj Khalifa. It was commended as being among the best in Dubai. Manju Ramanan did a feature on me and us and on Dubai. And she did a feature saying among the best design homes of Dubai. And this apartment was featured. Thank you, Manju. And I think, so when this Burj Khalifa apartment happened, I didn't see it as a Burj Khalifa apartment. I saw it as providence. The universe is trying to tell me, yes, boy, walk on this path. This is for you.
That's great. Mr. Prateek, how is it different to design a luxury yacht and a luxury residence?
It's a very good question. Very, very intricate question. Luxury residence is not confined to space. A yacht is confined to space. So when you talk about functionality, you need to account for every single inch of space that you design for a yacht. The advantage the yacht has got, it is owned by somebody. It is not about the money. It is not about the money. It is about the mindset and the lifestyle of the yacht owner. Somebody could be a billionaire but not having that kind of a mindset to own a yacht or a private jet or, something so fancy and exotic. It's a mindset. So if somebody owns a yacht, he has got a mindset of luxury lifestyle. So what is he looking for in a yacht is luxury lifestyle. He is also using this yacht to brand himself to his peers. He is using this yacht as a reflective device of his success. So when we design yachts, we have to ensure like nothing before. None of his guests should ever say, I have seen this piece somewhere else, or I know of this, or I have seen this elsewhere. That is my personal thing. I believe in this. If the yacht is his personal statement, then everything in the yacht should be his personal statement. Everything in the yacht should be handmade, customized, reflecting his success. There should be, if he's a smoker, or even if he's a casual smoker, there should be a fabulous cigar humidifier. Okay. I would go a few steps. I would create a handmade, either a crystal or engage a world-class potter to create cigar ashtrays. I would have the world's best wines and a best wine cellar within the yacht. Like I mentioned to you, space is of primary importance in a yacht. But what we have to use, we have to use. A small wine cellar, cooler, I won't call it a cooler, I would call it a cellar, is extremely important in a yacht. That is of utmost significance. I would use that. So it reflects his lifestyle, and being into brand building, there is no better space than a luxury yacht or a luxury jet to reflect the success of my client. We are currently working on a private jet for a client, and at the same principle. Everything in that jet will be handmade, custom designed, reflecting the success of my client.
Are typically NDAs required in your field of work when you're dealing with high net worth clients, and their maybe a secret design or their a best design?
Normally, we are extremely discreet about our clients. Unless, with due permission, he's allowed us to talk about in the media. Almost every project of ours is published in magazines worldwide. Architectural Digest has featured us, Rolls-Royce has featured us, the magazine, and almost every top publication in the world has published our articles. And we only feature those where the clients have given the consent, with the client's pictures. There are a lot of clients who don't want us to tell anybody in the world that we have worked for them, what we have done for them. Forget about what we have done for them. They don't want even us to tell who we have worked for. I mean, if we have worked for them. There are a few people in Dubai we have worked for, not just Dubai, around the world we have worked for. We have worked for a client in Kenya. We have worked for a very influential client in Dubai, extremely influential client in Dubai, in Uzbekistan, in India, where I'm sold to secrecy. Talking about NDA, within this segment, there's also one more segment. And Dubai has got 10 bedroom and 12 bedroom and 15 bedroom mansions and houses, and, or people have multiple homes, one to entertain guests and one for the family. And we have done what I would call it adult playrooms. This movie 50 Shades of Grey, inspired by that. It's a big phenomenon now in Europe and US, in Dubai as well. I call it adult playrooms. We have designed a few, in which we use a lot of leather, a lot of feather, a lot of silk, a lot of mirrors, a lot of openness, and a few. So we have done a few, and we are sold to secrecy on who the client is and for whom and where. But it's interior design and architecture, or any design, has to be experiential. It cannot be stereotype. one size doesn't fit anyone. One size fits only one. Even if someone likes something that I've done for somebody, wants me to replicate, I will never replicate. Even if he wants 100% same, I would do it similar, but not the same. I'm being unfair to the first guy, and I'm being unfair to him. So I'm grateful to him that he appreciates my work for him, but I would also like to make him exclusive and do something different for him. Keeping the same character, but something different for him.
That's interesting. Mr. Prateek, coming to a lawyer's perspective, what is a basic lawyer's design psychology would be when he's designing a house or an office?
Lawyers are, within the lawyer fraternity, there are several kinds of lawyers. There's family lawyer, there's criminal lawyer, there's trust and will, and there is lawyers are multifaceted, and each facet defines the personality of the guy. Could define the personality of the lawyer. A corporate lawyer is a corporate lawyer. A criminal lawyer is a bit on the would have a different character, and because the space reflects the character of the client. Every entity has an identity. And this is how I define branding for interiors. Every entity has an identity. So if I'm designing the office or a home for a lawyer, it would reflect the identity of that entity, the character, his personality, his flamboyance or his being understated. Whether he's a super socialite or whether he's a family man and has his few friends coming over for a drink or for dinner once in a while. Does he have multiple homes? Does he have a yacht? Does he have a private office or does he have a larger office? Within his office, does he have a private chamber or he's more of an I won't say open office, but does he have a very discreet private chamber or does he have it? Is his office more inclusive? All this will depend. And the office space of every lawyer differs from his personality than the other lawyer. From the trait, from what kind of lawyer you are. The same with bankers, the same with doctors. If you look at doctors, okay, let me explain to you better. There are two kinds of doctors. One, you go when you're not well. Other doctors, when you're well, but you want to look better. Botox, teeth veneer, hair transplant. There are a lot of doctors now are into aesthetics. The character of these two doctors are completely different. The wellness, the doctor who's saving lives or who's into actual medicine and he's actually saving lives or who's treating illness is a different character from a guy who's enhancing your life. His or her house, office, clinic is going to be completely different from his or hers. If you go to Jumeirah, all these wellness clinics on this side, transplant, hair transplant, or they look very flamboyant, very beautiful, vis-a-vis any hospital. A hospital looks like an hospital. Every hospital in the world looks the same. But if you go to a wellness clinic or an aesthetic clinic, it looks amazing, glorified. And that's the character differentiation I'm talking about. He's also a doctor, she's also a doctor, he's also a doctor, she's also a doctor. But look at the character differences. Same with the lawyer. It purely reflects on his character, his personality.
Do you think there's a kind of color combination usually lawyers use? It's mostly white and brown and beige. So what do you have to say on that?
It's mostly beige. It's mostly white or beige and brown. Again, it depends on the character of the lawyer or the person. Some would like it colorful and, for example, I equate interior design to fashion. And I think there is a correlation, a very strong correlation. I don't call interior design and architecture as a practice, I call it as a brand. I've never called the First Ferry as a practice, interior design architecture as a practice. I call it as a fashion house, as a brand. And it's not very different from fashion. I would call it the difference between Armani and Versace. Versace is all about gold and black and very flamboyant. Armani is very safe, very soft, subtle, understated. Both are Italians, but both two radical schools of design. So there are lawyers and doctors who would like the colorful thing. But then most lawyers, especially in your offices, would either have a white or would have a brown. I personally think it is because while I'm talking to a client seriously, while I'm talking to a serious client on some serious issues, I don't want the environment to speak. I want the environment just to disappear, as if it doesn't exist, as if it is just him and me in the room with nothing on the sides. Anything with color, anything with lights, anything with flash, anything which is off the grid will be a disturbing element in the conversation. So because there has to be a complete one-to-one interaction with no disturbances, I personally feel so. The environment has to be very, non-intrusive. It just has to disappear. And therefore the beige and the brown. When you walk into a house which is beige and brown, you will never say it's bad. You will say, it's not too bad. You will not say it's good, but you will not say it's bad. It doesn't have a character. I think so. And that's the objective of having a beige and brown. It shouldn't have a character. It should just disappear. I think that's the reason why they have it white or beige and brown.
That's a nice way to connect psychology, color pattern, and profession of a person. Mr. Prateek, how do you see AI integrating with modern design?
So AI is ever evolving. What AI was 2 years ago, what AI is now, what AI is going to be the next 1 year. AI is evolving at such a pace. What AI was a year, 2 years ago, and what AI is now, and what it's going to be, no one has an idea of what AI could be. But as we speak today, the role of AI's influence on design. Yes, AI helps you explore a world beyond a human mind. So which means when you're doing conceptual research, AI can help you, but AI cannot bring in the human element. And earlier in the interview, I mentioned to you, luxury lifestyle is service-driven, is comfort-driven. Comfort, good quality, good service is a human thing, which AI cannot take over. AI can help you direct in a direction, but at the end of the day, it is the human that precedes over everything. Let me give you a small example. There were books once upon a time. And then people thought this is the end of the books. When Kindle came by and when people started reading books, digital books. And so people thought that's end of books. 100-year-old bookstores closed down. But do you know books are back? Print is back. The feel of the paper is back. The same bookstores that shut down a few years ago have reopened up. Print is back. Fundamentally speaking, as much as AI takes over, in luxury, lifestyle, design, interiors, architecture, if you're my client, can AI define you? No. Can AI read your emotions? No. I can. Or I should be able to. Okay? I'm a human, you're a human. I radiate certain kind of a vibration, you radiate certain kind of a vibration. AI cannot take this over. I can use this and feed it to AI for a specific purpose. But at the end of the day, it still has to reflect your personality. Each one of us has got a different DNA, which means a different personality. Each one of us. AI cannot determine your personality. A human can. Yes, the AI can help me to give me some insights, to give me a direction, But at the end of the day, it has to be a human to human thing. Comfort, luxury, service. So AI will play a part, of course. It has been playing a part. But the human element in luxury lifestyle design will never go out of fashion. I'm saying never go out of fashion. Tell me one thing. In the olden days, there were potters, weavers, there were artisans. Then the industrial revolution happened. Machines took over. What happened now? People are going back to basics. The whole art of handmaidship is reviving worldwide. Worldwide, weavers are back in business. Leather craftsmen, potters, stone ironmongers. Everybody's back in business. People will go back to basics. AI might determine the design, so to speak, help in the design purpose, but it will be made by a human for a human.
Prateek, given a chance to design residence of Jacob and Co., what would you see in a client's perspective? What would a client want his Jacob residence to be designed as?
I'm happy you brought about Jacob and Co. in the conversation, because Jacob and Co. is a watch brand. It's not an interior, or it's not a furniture brand. It's not a couture brand. It's a precision brand. It's a high precision, high design, each piece made individually or limited pieces. So the essence of Jacob and Co., the fundamental brand essence of Jacob and Co. is one of a kind. Highest quality, highest design for that client. It is like Hermes. Okay. So if I'm a buyer of one residence in the Jacob and Co. building, I have bought it for two reasons. A, for the brand, of course, and B is I possibly also have a Jacob and Co. watch, or I aspire to have one. And C is I like the fundamental values of Jacob and Co., which is precision, design, one-off design, the amazingness of the design. So if I'm doing his residence, I have to ensure I fulfill this aspiration of design, of one-off one piece, of super craftsmanship, ultra luxury. Be inspired by the pieces of Jacob and Co. And again, what does that mean? Handmade. Every component is crafted together. Every component is put together by hand. Every piece of every component is handmade, is bejeweled. And so everything, the essence of Jacob and Co. as a brand, as a product, is delivered. The owner of the residence will aspire to have the same character of that watch in his house. So what will I do if I was given a chance? This is what I would do. I would make sure everything is handmade in the house. Every piece is handmade, and it reflects the true identity in the deepest way of the client, and it reflects his success. Somebody who is buying an apartment in Jacob & Co. is also buying because he wants to celebrate his success. So if he is celebrating his success by buying an apartment in Jacob & Company, my objective should be to enhance the celebration.